distributed memory multi-computers, hierarchical NUMA multi-processor models, or UMA multi-processor models, or COMA model? The answer for this is distributed memory multi-computers. Okay. Hypercube architecture and software controlled message switching. Answer is distributed memory multi-computers. And the next unit, that is your 10th unit, you have got this anti-dependency, flow dependency, and output dependency, right? Go through those dependencies properly, because if equations are given, from that equation you have to look and write which dependency is there, whether it is flow, anti, or output dependency. Okay. The next question is that only about the dependency. I cannot read out those expressions here. So very simpler expressions are there. So you prepare for the dependencies, see the expression and write the answer. Okay.
Which unit you talk to, madam?
10th unit.
10.
Yeah, in 10th unit you have this flow dependency, anti-dependency, output dependency, right?
Yeah.
Those things you prepare, see the expression and write what kind of dependency is there. Now see this one. Identify the correct statement. Parallelism relation is commutative. Parallelism relation is transitive. Which one is correct?
Commutative.
No, yeah, parallelism is commutative is correct. Okay, but parallelism is not transitive. Bernstein's equation, we spoke all this, right? So parallelism relation is not transitive. It cannot be transitive, but it is commutative. Which of the following approach reduce the burden on compilers to detect the parallelism? Which of the following approach reduces the burden on compilers to detect parallelism? Options are implicit parallelism, explicit parallelism, internal parallelism, and external parallelism.
Explicit parallelism.
No, implicit.
Implicit. Implicit, ma'am.
Yes, implicit. Okay, remember, implicit parallelism. Identify the type of parallelism defined by the machine architecture and hardware multiplicity. What is this definition about? Whose definition it is? Machine architecture and hardware multiplicity. See the options: hardware parallelism, software parallelism, instruction parallelism, and loop parallelism. It is hardware parallelism. Hardware parallelism it is. What is that? Machine architecture and hardware multiplicity. Answer is hardware parallelism. So which of the following provides higher degree of parallelism? Fine grain, medium grain, coarse grain.
Fine grain.
Fine grain provides higher degree of parallelism. So answer is fine grain.
That is at instruction level. Yeah.
Yeah, instruction level. Which among the following is the most optimized program construct to execute on parallel or vector computer? So, which one is best suited for parallel computers or vector computers? Whether it is instruction level parallelism, loop level parallelism, procedural level parallelism, or subprogram level parallelism?
Loop level parallelism.
Yeah, exactly. It is loop level parallelism. See, it is possible to achieve parallelism with which of the following? With and within the CPU, with many CPUs only, without CPUs, with one CPU.
Within the CPU. Within the CPU, ma'am.
Within the CPU. See the question.
Yeah.
Possible to achieve parallelism with which of the following? First option, with and within the CPU, with many CPUs, without CPUs, with one CPU.
One CPU.
One CPU, how you will achieve parallelism?
With many CPUs.
With many CPUs? No. The answer is with and within the CPU.
Oh, with and within.
Yeah. So with many CPUs also you can achieve, right? So you can have parallelism with so many CPUs, or you can have parallelism within the CPU itself, right? So the answer is with and within the CPU. The act of moving a message from source to destination can be referred as,
Routing.
yeah, routing. Identify an alternate way to present ALU dependency. Identify an alternate way to present ALU dependence. A work, a data, conflicts, dependency.
Dependent.
Conflicts. Answer is conflicts. The coordinators for a processor design space are which of the following? Design space of a processor, we discussed about one uh, a graph, right? In design a space of processor topic. So what are the coordinates that we used there? Whether it is MIPS versus gigahertz, clock speed versus CPI, or gigahertz versus MIPS, or CPI versus clock speed.
Clock speed versus
Yeah. Clock speed versus CPI.
right.
Then the clocks per instruction in VLIW processor can be compared to which of the following superscalar processors, whether it is lower, higher, equal to, or cannot be determined. So the clocks per instructions in VLIW will be lower when compared to your superscalar. Okay. So clocks per instructions will be lower. Lower is the answer here. Parallelism in superscalar processors is dependent on which of the following? Hardware technology, instruction issue latency, compiler technology, or assembler technology. Compiler technology.
Compiler.
Yeah, compiler technology is answer.
Ma'am, what was the question? Can you repeat, please?
The parallelism in superscalar processors is dependent on which of the following? Hardware technology, instruction issue latency, compiler technology, or assembler technology. Answer is compiler technology.
Thank you.
Which of the following domain does not contain symbolic processors in it? Which of the following domains does not contain symbolic processors in it? Whether it is pattern recognition systems, knowledge representation systems, weather forecasting, or computer vision systems. Very easy question. So for this, you have to first know what are symbolic processors.
Yeah, that is what I forgot.
See, symbolic processors means you remember this is something which is related to AI. Okay, whatever you can do with AI, there like list processor programming is there. You cannot use this symbolic processors to do any calculations. Okay. So pattern, anything related to AI will come under symbolic process. So pattern recognition is AI, knowledge representation is also AI, computer vision system is also AI. But weather forecasting, you need to do some calculations here. You need lot of data here to do the calculation. So this is something which we cannot perform by making use of symbolic processors. Okay. So weather forecasting system is the answer. Which of the following is the characteristic of risk instruction set? One word instruction, two word, three word, or four word. Risk is a one word instruction set. Okay, so one word is the answer. Parallel execution of operations in VLIW is done according to the schedule determined by which of the following. So VLIW is what? Very large instruction word. So in one instruction itself, we can give so many operation: add, subtract, all that you can multiply. Everything is given in the same instruction, right? That's why it is VLIW, very large instruction word. So there, the parallel execution of operation in VLIW, that schedule which is going to execute first is done by which of the following? Whether it is task scheduler, interpreter, compiler, or encoder. What is the answer? Compiler. The answer is compiler. Identify the correct statement in a vector processor. So in vector processors, we had register to registers and memory to memory operations that can be performed. Okay. Now see, statement one says, who is this new? Statement one says, register to register uses short instructions and register files. Statement two says, memory to memory uses long instructions and register files. So which is correct statement for a vector?
Register to register.
Both are correct. So S2 is also correct, S2 is also correct. Register to register uses shorter instructions and register files. Memory to memory uses long instructions and register files. So both are correct. S1 is also true. Statement 1 is also true. Statement 2 is also true.
But ma'am, you have put in two options. No, that's the problem. I knew both are true.
No, no, no. This is a question. S1 and S2 is, these are the two questions.
Okay.
Options are there. S1 is true, S2 is true, S1 false, S2 true, like that.
Okay.
This one is a general question. According to a study, the conversion of CISC to RISC instruction, converting of CISC to RISC, okay, increases the program instruction counts by how many percentage? So the options are 20, 40, 60, and 80. The answer is 40%. Okay, the answer is 40%. Conversion of CISC to RISC instruction increases the program instruction count by 40%. See this question. Which type of processor chips do not need lower clock speeds? Which type of processor chips do not need lower clock speeds? Embedded applications, multi-core chip, board processors, low power consumption products, vision applications. The answer is
Multiple.
no, vision applications. Do not need lower clock speeds. So embedded application also lower clock speed is required. Multi-core chips, on the chip it is, so it is lower clock. The answer is vision application. The pipeline is underutilized in which of the following situation? Pipeline is underutilized in which of the following situation? Instruction issue latency is more than one cycle per instruction. Instruction issue latency is one cycle per instruction. Number of stages in pipeline is more. Number of stages in pipeline is less. The answer is the first option. Instruction issue latency is more than one cycle per instruction. In that case, the pipeline is underutilized. Which of the following is the odd one out in terms of non-availability of memory? Cache miss, page fault, segmentation fault, MMU.
Page fault.
Don't bother about the question. The question is only about which of the following is odd one. Okay, you have to pick the odd one. See the options and then tell. Cache miss, page fault, segmentation fault, MMU. Cache miss is what? When the data is not there. Page fault, when the page is not there. Segment fault, segment is not there. Right? These three are the concepts which are similar. But MMU is what? Memory Management Unit. So this one is the odd one out of all this. Correct? So MMU is the right answer. For implementing a page table mapping, how many virtual addresses does paging use? I repeat the question. For implementing a page table mapping, how many virtual address does paging use? One virtual address, two, no virtual address, or many virtual addresses? So the answer is one virtual address. So what I'll do is, I'll just, some of you have requested to repeat the units. Okay, I'll just repeat the units again because it is time up, and then we continue with the questions again. So the units which will have from where you will be getting the descriptive questions are unit 1, 2, 3 and 11. Okay. Unit 1, 2, 3 and 11 are the units from where you will be getting the descriptive questions. The rest of the units 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, you will be getting the MCQs. Okay. But for the exam, you will be getting 6 questions. Okay, 6 descriptive questions you will be getting, for which I have told you the 4 units from which for sure you will get the descriptive questions. 4 questions. The rest of the 2 questions will be randomly selected from any of the leftover units. So for that you have to come prepared. But these 4 units are told. I've also told you some of the important areas. You can also go through that also. Okay, but prepare completely these 4 units properly and come. So for this is for all those who had, some of you had missed the units for them. Okay, like go back to the CQs again. If a page is not found in TLB, then it is known as TLB hit, buffer miss, TLB miss and miss. The answer is TLB miss.
TLB miss.
Okay. Segment limit contains which of the following? Starting logical address of a process, starting physical address of segment in memory, segment length, contain last address. The answer is segment length. Okay, segment length is the answer. Illegal addresses are trapped using which of the following? Error, protection, valid, invalid bit, or access. So by looking at the valid and invalid bit, we will get to know whether the page is present or whether the page is absent. Okay, if the page is if it is an invalid bit, then you will send a interrupt to the operating system, which you call it as trap. Okay, so the answer here is valid and invalid bit. The answer is valid invalid bit. Identify the correct statement about inclusion property. Identify the correct statement about the inclusion property. The options are all instances of the variable are updated directly. All information updates require a buffer. Third option, information present at the higher level. Fourth one, information present in the lower level is not present in the higher level. The answer is information present in lower level is present in the higher level. Okay. Which is not the feature of a private virtual memory. Share the same physical address space, pre-process based protection, synonyms are allowed, slower address translation. The answer is slower address translation. Which of these belong to a class of vector computers? SISD, SIMD, MIMD, MISD. The answer is SIMD. Then, which of these is true about SIMD system? SIMD means it is capable of executing different instructions on different processing elements of same data set. This is the right answer. Okay. Capable of executing different instructions on different processing units of the same data set because it is single instruction and multiple data. Identify the task size of fine-grained architecture. Large number of small tasks, small number of large tasks, medium tasks, or large number of large tasks. It is fine grained. So the answer is large number of small tasks. Okay, because you will be dividing into very small units. In fine grained, load balancing is possible. So that's why we say large number of small tasks. Which of the following best suits with respect to coarse grained SIMD architecture load balancing? So in SIMD, in coarse, see load balancing is possible only with your fine grain. So coarse grain, the answer is improper. The options given here are proper, improper, neither proper nor improper. Okay, but the answer is improper. Only in fine grain, load balancing is possible. How the process complexity matters in fine-grained SIMD architecture. Options are less, more, balanced, and imbalanced. The answer is less. So how many types of array processors we have got? We have got two array processors, right? The vector processor and the array processor, SIMD array processor and vector processor. A hard disk with 20 surfaces will have how many heads? Read-write heads. Can you answer this? Hard disk with 20 surfaces will have how
I
many?
know, I know. Okay, you take it. Hey, I know.
Yes, a hard disk with 20 surfaces will have how many read-write heads? It will have 20 read-write heads, right? 20 surfaces means to read the information, it needs 20 read-write heads. Which of the following bus is connected to video devices? See the options: SCSI, UPI, HDMI, and USB. So SCSI is what connected to the video devices. SCSI. Okay. Hmm. Which of the following is an extension of processor bus? TCI, SCSI, HDMI, and USB. The answer is TCI. Okay, we have covered most of the questions. Okay, what Neha is something. All it's like that only like except descriptive units, all units should be learned for MCQs. Yeah, except descriptive units, other units are for your MCQs and for the other two questions, right? The other two descriptive questions can also be from any one of the left out units which are there for your MCQs. Okay, there are so many important topics, right? That can come, which we can have. So many important topics are there. So go through, see the topics and go through. We have got pipelines, we have got the flame. Many topics are there. Cache map, cache under cache mapping also so many uh, yeah, techniques are there. Okay, so all anything can be asked. What kind of examples you have to give for addressing modes? Take a small example in R1 comma R2, direct addressing mode, like that. Move R1 comma R2. Okay. So that's all. Okay. Anything, if you have got any doubts with regard to any of the topic or anything that you wanted to ask, you can chat me through your, okay, uh, you can put up a mail and reply there and do your exams well. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck for your
Thank you, ma'am.
exams. Okay, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.